Number 10, Wrangler Authentics Classic 5-Pocket Regular Fit. Wrangler Authentics retails between $22 and $38. The fabric is a 13-ounce 100% cotton denim, heavier than most competition at any price point below $80. At 13 ounces, the fabric holds its shape through a full day of wear without bagging at the seat or knees, resists the progressive deformation that body weight stress produces in lighter denim across a full working day, and maintains structural consistency from the first wash to the 50th, because there is no elastane content to degrade under thermal stress. The classic 5-pocket regular fit has a rise of 11.5 to 12 inches depending on the size. For men over 45, this rise positions the waistband close to the natural waist without the back gap problem that low-rise fits create when sitting, driving, or bending. The thigh opening runs 18 to 19 inches, providing adequate room for a fuller thigh profile without excess fabric bunching. The straight leg from thigh to hem maintains a clean visual line that works across casual and smart casual contexts. Double needle stitching on inseam and outseam with bar-tacked stress points at pocket corners and fly base. Consumer longevity reports average 4.2 years of functional wear. At $30 per pair across 4.2 years, the annual cost is $7.14. No brand on this list at any price delivers that ratio with a fabric weight this high. Number 9. Rustler by Wrangler. Rustler is Wrangler's value tier, retailing between $15 and $28 at Walmart and mass-market retailers. The fabric runs at 11.5-ounce cotton denim, lighter than the core Wrangler Authentics line but sourced through the same Contour brand's supply chain infrastructure governing material standards across the Wrangler and Lee portfolio. The construction uses double needle stitching on primary seams with bar-tacked stress points at pocket corners, the same construction template as the Wrangler mainline at a lighter fabric weight. The rise on the Relaxed Fit runs 11 to 11.5 inches, adequate for most men over 45 without reaching the full natural waist positioning that heavier use options on this list provide. Consumer longevity reports average 2.3 to 2.8 years of functional wear before seam separation or fabric thinning at stress points. At $20 per pair across 2.5 years, the annual cost is $8. The Rustler sits at number 9 rather than higher specifically because of the fabric weight. At 11.5 ounces, shape retention across a full day of wear is adequate but not exceptional for men over 45 who need consistent fit from morning through evening without the progressive knee and seat bagging that lighter denim develops under sustained body weight pressure. For men whose primary concern is price and who wear jeans casually for shorter periods during the day, the Rustler delivers acceptable performance at the most accessible price point on this list. Number 8. Lee Regular Fit Straight Leg. Lee jeans retail between $35 and $50. Lee is owned by Contour brands alongside Wrangler, sharing sourcing infrastructure and manufacturing oversight. The regular fit straight leg uses a 12 to 13 ounce cotton denim with a rise of 11.5 to 12.5 inches and a thigh opening of 17 to 18 inches. Consumer Reports rated the Lee regular fit above the budget denim category average for color fastness after 50 wash cycles, with indigo retention scoring higher than most competitors at this price point. Double needle stitching on inseam and outseam, copper rivets at pocket stress points, solid rather than hollow, eliminating the rivet failure that occurs in cheaper budget denim where hollow rivets compress and detach under body weight stress. The hidden comfort waistband is the construction detail that elevates Lee above Wrangler Authentics for men over 45 specifically. A 1.5-inch stretch panel built into the interior waistband accommodates 2 to 3 inches of waist variance without altering the exterior appearance of the jean. For men over 45 whose waist measurement fluctuates across the day, this detail eliminates afternoon discomfort from a rigid waistband pressing against an expanded midsection without requiring a larger size that then fits poorly through the seat and thigh. It is the most practically useful single construction detail for this demographic on the entire list. Consumer longevity reports average 3.5 to 4 years. At $40 across 3.7 years, the annual cost is $10.81. Number 7. Signature by Levi Strauss & Company. Signature by Levi Strauss retails between $20 and $35 at Walmart and represents the most interesting quality tier question in budget denim for men over 45. This is Levi's manufacturing infrastructure, Levi's sourcing relationships, and Levi's pattern development applied to a price point designed for the mass retail channel. The fabric runs at 11.5 to 12-ounce cotton denim in the straight and relaxed fits, lighter than the mainline Levi's 501 at 12.5 ounces, but heavier than most competition at this price point. The construction uses double needle stitching on primary seams with copper rivets at pocket stress points, the same rivet specification as the mainline Levi's range. Consumer Reports testing of the signature Relaxed Fit documented seam integrity above the budget category average after 60 wash cycles, the highest rating of any jean retailing below $35 in the Consumer Reports Budget Denim Assessment. The Relaxed Fit rise runs 12 inches, appropriate for natural waist positioning on most men over 45, and the thigh opening of 19 inches provides adequate room for a fuller thigh profile. At $28 per pair with a documented average lifespan of 3 to 3.5 years, the annual cost sits at $8 to $9.33. For men who want Levi's construction standards and pattern development without the mainline Levi's price, the Signature line delivers both at the most accessible price point in the Levi's family. Number 6, Levi's 505 Regular Fit. The Levi's 505 Regular Fit retails between $59 and $79 and is the specific Levi's fit most consistently recommended for men over 45 across consumer communities, tailoring forums, and fit advisory platforms. The 505 uses a 12.5-ounce 100% cotton denim with a rise of 11.5 to 12 inches, a thigh opening of 18 inches, and a straight leg from thigh to hem. The 505 distinguishes itself from the 501 through one functional difference relevant to men over 45. The 501 uses a button fly. The 505 uses a zip fly. For daily wear across a full working day, the zip fly provides more consistent closure security under the repeated stress of sitting, standing, and bending that a working day involves. Button flies develop play in the closure over time as the buttonholes stretch, particularly in the lower buttons that bear the most stress during seated positions. The zip fly on the 505 maintains consistent closure across the full ownership period. Consumer Reports rated the 505 above the budget denim category average for seam integrity after 75 wash cycles. Double needle inseam and outseam stitching holding without measurable separation across the full Consumer Reports test sequence. Solid copper rivets at pocket stress points. The 100% cotton construction contains no elastane, meaning no heat washing degradation and no progressive shape loss across the ownership period. At $69 with a documented average functional lifespan of 3.5 to 4 years, the annual cost sits at $17 to $20, higher than several entries on this list, but justified by the heavier fabric weight, the more precisely developed fit geometry for this demographic, and the consistent quality control Levi's maintains across the 505 line across multiple production years. Number 5, Dickies Relaxed Fit Carpenter Jean. The Dickies Relaxed Fit Carpenter Jean retails between $25 and $40. The fabric is a 14.75-ounce cotton denim, the heaviest fabric weight on this list. At nearly 15 ounces, this denim holds its shape through a full day of wear on any body profile. resists seat and thigh bagging under sustained body weight pressure, and develops a natural fade pattern over years of wear that reflects real use rather than a factory-applied treatment. The rise sits at 12 to 13 inches depending on the size, one of the highest measurements on this list. For men over 45, this rise position places the waistband at the natural waist without the back gap problem that low-rise fits produce in seated positions. The thigh opening runs 19 to 20 inches, wide enough for unrestricted movement during any normal activity, including extended driving, which places consistent pressure on the inner thigh seam in a way that narrower thigh fits cannot accommodate without pulling. Triple needle stitching on inseam and outseam. Bar tacks at every identified stress point. Consumer longevity surveys show an average reported functional lifespan of 5.1 years for the Carpenter jean. At $32 across 5.1 years, the annual cost is $6.27, the second lowest on this list. The 14.75-ounce fabric requires a 4 to 6 wear break-in period before fully conforming to the body, longer than lighter denim. After break-in, the structural density provides all-day shape retention that nothing lighter on this list can match. For men over 45 who spend significant time sitting at a desk, driving, or in any position that applies sustained pressure to the seat and thigh, the shape retention of 14.75-ounce denim eliminates the progressive deformation that turns a morning of looking put together into an afternoon of looking like the jeans need washing. Number 4. LL Bean Double L Jeans. LL Bean's Double L jeans retail between $49 and $69 and have appeared consistently in consumer satisfaction surveys for men over 45 for over 2 decades. The Double L uses a 12-ounce 100% cotton denim with a rise of 12.5 to 13 inches, one of the highest rise measurements available in a mainstream retail brand at any price point. The thigh opening runs 19.5 to 20.5 inches across the size range. The fit described by the brand as a relaxed seat and thigh with a straight leg means full room through the seat without excess fabric bunching at the front or sides. Most brands offering a relaxed seat achieve it by adding fabric volume in both dimensions simultaneously, which produces excess material at the front of the thigh that bunches during sitting. The Double L achieves the relaxed seat through a targeted pattern adjustment rather than a blanket size increase, producing a cleaner silhouette across the front panel while maintaining the seat room that makes a full day of wear comfortable. LL Bean offers the Double L in waist sizes from 28 to 50 inches and inseam lengths from 28 to 36 inches with separate short, regular, and long options within each inseam range. For men over 45 who have never found an affordable jean in accurate sizing without paying for alterations, the range is itself a meaningful value. Consumer longevity reports average 4.5 to 5 years of functional wear. At $59 across 4.7 years, the annual cost is $12.55. Number 3. Wrangler Riggs Workwear Carpenter Jean. The Wrangler Riggs Carpenter Jean retails between $35 and $50 and represents the point where Wrangler's consumer denim construction standards meet reinforced workwear specifications developed in direct collaboration with tradespeople, documenting specific failure points across occupational categories. The fabric is a 14-ounce ring-spun cotton denim. Ring-spun processing removes short fibers from the yarn before weaving, producing a denser, smoother fabric that resists pilling and surface degradation better than standard carded cotton at the same weight. The smoother inner surface reduces friction at the inner thigh during extended sitting or walking, a practical comfort consideration that becomes more relevant after 45. The gusseted crotch construction is the detail that separates the Riggs from every other Wrangler product on this list and most budget denim at any price. A diamond-shaped gusset panel inserted at the crotch seam junction eliminates the primary tension point where standard jeans fail first under repeated bending, sitting, and movement. Brands using gusseted construction include Ironheart and Samurai Jeans at $350 to $500. Wrangler Rigs delivers it at $45. The rise runs 12 to 13 inches. The thigh opening sits at 19 to 20 inches in the Carpenter fit. Triple needle stitching on all primary seams. Reinforced panels at the seat on the most stress-intensive fit variants. Consumer longevity reports for the Rigs Carpenter average 5.5 to 6 years of functional wear. At $45 across 5.7 years, the annual cost is $7.89. Number 2, Dickies Double Knee Work Pant. The Dickies Double Knee retails between $35 and $45. The fabric is a 9.5-ounce canvas duck cotton. Canvas duck is a plain weave construction, denser and more abrasion-resistant at equivalent weight than the twill weave used in standard denim, because the plain weave creates more thread intersections per square inch, producing a tighter surface that resists abrasion and maintains its structure under sustained pressure. The defining construction detail is the double knee. 2 full layers of fabric are sewn from above the knee to below it, creating twice the fabric density at the highest flexion stress point on any pair of pants. For men over 45 who kneel for home repair projects, gardening, or any activity that puts prolonged pressure on the knee panel, this is the only pair of pants on this list that is structurally built for that use. Consumer wear testing documents 0 knee failure across 4 years of regular use in conditions that destroy standard single-layer pants within 18 months. The rise runs 12 inches, triple needle stitching on primary seams. The fit is utilitarian and requires a longer break-in period than standard denim because canvas duck is stiffer out of the box than twill denim. After break-in, the canvas surface develops a comfortable, body-conforming texture that standard denim cannot replicate. At $40 across a documented average lifespan of 5 to 6 years in regular use, the annual cost is $6.67 to $8. For men over 45 whose daily activities include physical work or outdoor projects alongside casual wear, the double knee addresses a failure point that every other entry on this list accepts as inevitable. Number 1, Carhartt Relaxed Fit 5-Pocket Jean. First place is the Carhartt Relaxed Fit 5-Pocket Jean. It scores the highest on this list across every metric relevant to men over 45. Fabric weight, rise measurement, seam construction, documented longevity, and annual cost of ownership across a verified multi-year wear period. The fabric is a 14-ounce 100% ring-spun cotton denim. Ring-spun processing removes short fibers before weaving, producing a denser, smoother surface that resists pilling better than standard carded cotton at the same weight. The smoother inner surface reduces friction at the inner thigh and seat contact points during extended sitting, a detail that 14-ounce carded cotton cannot match because the coarser fiber surface creates more friction against skin and underlayers throughout the day. The rise measures 12.5 to 13 inches across the size range, the highest consistent rise measurement of any brand on this list. For men over 45 across the full range of body profiles represented in this demographic, a 12.5 to 13-inch rise positions the waistband at the natural waist, without exception. There is no back gap when sitting. There is no waistband sliding below the midsection during extended wear. The waistband stays where it should stay because the rise geometry was developed for a body that carries its weight at the natural waist, not at the hip. The thigh opening runs 19.5 to 21 inches depending on the size, wide enough to accommodate a full range of body profiles in this demographic without pulling across the seat or compressing the thigh in any seated position, including extended driving, which applies the highest sustained pressure to the inner thigh seam of any normal daily activity. Triple needle stitching is standard across all primary seams. Bar tacks at pocket corners, fly base, and belt loop attachments cover every identified stress point without exception. Consumer Reports durability testing rated the Carhartt Relaxed Fit 5-pocket above the budget denim category average for seam integrity after 100 wash cycles, the highest wash cycle rating of any jean in the budget category across Consumer Reports' last 2 years of assessment. Consumer longevity surveys show an average reported functional lifespan of 5.8 years, the highest of any budget jean in the Consumer Reports database. The fabric contains no elastane. It does not degrade with heat washing. It does not progressively lose shape recovery as elastane fiber breaks down under thermal stress. The ring-spun construction holds its character from the first wash to the 100th. At $55 across 5.8 years, the annual cost is $9.48. Retail price sits between $45 and $65, with core sizes consistently available at or below $55 through Carhartt's direct retail, Amazon, and major national retailers. For men over 45 who have spent years buying jeans that fit in the morning and look worn by afternoon, that sit too low when seated, that bag at the knees within a year, and that require replacement on a schedule that costs more per year than a better-built option, the Carhartt Relaxed Fit 5-pocket ends that cycle. You buy it, you wear it for 6 years, and you spend less per year than you spent replacing cheaper options twice as often. Annual cost range across the list from $6.27 for the Dickies Carpenter to $20 for the Levi's 505. The difference between the highest and lowest annual cost on this list is $13.73 per year. That is the entire financial argument for buying the wrong jean, saving $13.73 a year in exchange for jeans that sit too low, bag by noon, and need replacing twice as fast. The 3 specifications that separate the top 5 entries on this list from the bottom 5 are rise height above 12 inches, fabric weight above 13 ounces, and triple needle stitching on primary seams. Those 3 details determine whether a jean fits correctly after 45, holds its shape through a full day of wear, and lasts long enough to make the purchase economically rational. None of those details appear on the marketing. All of them appear in the product specification if you know to look. The average man over 45 buys 2.1 pairs of jeans per year based on Bureau of Labor Statistics consumer expenditure survey data. If he buys from the bottom of this list at $20 per pair and replaces them every 2.5 years, he spends $168 per decade on jeans. If he buys the Carhartt at $55 and replaces them every 5.8 years, he spends $95 per decade and wears a better-fitting, heavier, more structurally sound jean every day of those 10 years. The most expensive option in the top half of this list is the cheapest option over a decade of real wear. Run the numbers once and you will never go back to a $20 pair of jeans that costs you more in the long run than anything on this list.